Yo, it's your boy Dctree from Dctree-Nation.com, where we cover hoops and heroes. And today we're talking hoops. The Spurs have 3 picks coming up in the draft, and they have to make them count because they don't have a lot of cap space this offseason to make big moves. But I got to thinking, what are 3 principles they need to follow in the draft? And who are some prospects they probably want to look at as well? But before I jump too deep into it, if you like my content, please sub to the channel. All right, before I get into the players and the prospects that the Spurs should be looking at, let's talk about the 3 principles the Spurs should have going into this draft. The Spurs, they need help shooting the basketball. They shot a high percentage, but their 3-point attempts were at the bottom of the league. They need more 3-point attempts to help the scoring and help really DeMar DeRozan open up the middle so he can drive and, shoot the J in the mid-range if that's what he wants to do. Hopefully, DeMar is working on his 3, but hey, that's wishful thinking, okay? Another principle they need to focus on is athleticism, okay? The Spurs need athleticism. The league is very athletic. You have to be able to keep up with these players. That will help the defense tremendously. And that brings us to our 3rd point, defense in general. The defense was up and down all year, Terrible defense on the road. For some reason, the defense was great at home, but it was terrible on the road. So they need to get players to help them with that consistency. Now, don't get me wrong. You got White, you got Murray, you got Lonnie Walker. Hopefully those 3 guys can help with the defense. So going into the draft, that may not be a focus for the Spurs to get defensive guards, but they could use a defensive 3, maybe a defensive 4. Now to the prospects. Now, first off, I'm just a YouTuber. I'm not an insider. I don't have any inside information. I basically research and just come up with information, at various sites, seeing who all are on the Spurs radar. And one of the guys that keeps popping up on the radar is Matisse Thybulle, and he's one of the best defensive guards in the nation. And the Spurs, they can use as much help as they can defensively. Obviously, the numbers weren't where they're supposed to be last year, but next year you have Murray, so maybe this is not a priority, like I said before, but he is one of the best players for that. Another player that sticks out is Johnson from Kentucky. He can actually shoot the basketball, and he's solid defensively. The Spurs do need some outside shooting. They get very stagnant when DeMar isn't hitting, when LaMarcus isn't hitting. So they need some shooting, somebody that spread the floor, but still has the defensive prowess where they're not in, Greg Popovich's doghouse. Bellinelli. Like Bellinelli was. So that is a prospect as well. The last guy is more kind of like a Malik Rose throwback type of guy from Villanova. Eric Pascal. He's like a throwback to kind of Malik Rose. Now, I don't know if he'll fit well with the team. Kind of reminds me of DeJuan Blair in a sense. Probably not as athletic. So I'm curious to see if the Spurs do give him a shot. The Spurs could use some, some energy, some youth at the 4 and 5. LaMarcus is slowing down a little bit. And, it could work. I'm not sure. But overall, the Spurs just have to worry about those principles, shooting, athleticism, defense. If they can get 3 solid players that can help them today, I'm kind of over the whole, stash a European player thing. I'm kind of over that. But I hope they get 3 players that can help the Spurs now, at least. And maybe not in the 2nd round, but those first 2 picks in the 1st round should be able to help them now because they need to move now. LaMarcus isn't getting younger. DeMar isn't getting younger. They need to go for it, in my opinion. All right, guys, that's it for this one. For more information on the Spurs and the draft, check out the main page, Dctree-Nation.com. Like us on Facebook. Don't forget to hit that sub button. It's free to sub, guys. Help a brother out. Thanks for watching. Peace.